do a quick review for quiz 7.1 to 7.2. First of all, it's in Elluminate. There are 5 multiple choice questions and 6 fill in the blank questions. All questions, all 11 questions, you have to step out. I wanted to go over a couple of different kinds of questions that you should be familiar with. Make sure you definitely, so if I'm looking at chapter 7.1, I would say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 questions from 7.1. So you definitely want to make sure that you can do questions like, I would say questions like number 3 from your homework, 1, 3, 5, all those basic problems. Like, I'm going to just do a couple of, I'm going to do like question number 2. Make sure you can do like 14m equals 18 plus 12m. Remembering to show me, first you're going to move this over here. End up with 2m equals 18. Divide both sides by 2. And m is equal to 9. So make sure you can do a basic problem like that. Some of the multiple choice ones, it's asking you which is not the correct step. So watch out for that word on the quiz, and you don't make a mistake there. Make sure you can solve it when you have variables on both sides, like question number 6 from your homework. I know you didn't have to do the evens, but this is good practice. So I would definitely go through this problem and add opposite, and then start your movement. So let's move this over here. Negative 16 equals 5h plus negative 6. Add 6 to both sides. Get negative 10 equals 5h. Make sure you don't lose your negatives. That's really important. H equals negative 2. This is what you're going to show me for your homework or for your quiz. So make sure you get those steps out. So you got a couple of basic problems like that. Like the first 3, 4 questions are like that. You're definitely going to have to know how to work with decimals. So if I'm looking at question 16 from that practice page, 2c plus 7.5 equals 6 2/10 minus 3c. Make sure you know how to work with your decimals. Add 3c to both sides. 5c plus 7.5 equals 6 2/10. That's gone. Then take and move this. But you got to be careful about this because you can't do the math like this. 7.5. This is subtraction, so you need to have the larger amount of what you have more of on top. Then you can subtract, and then remember it'll be negatives. So 5c is equal to right there. And then divide both sides by 5. And c is going to be equal to 2 3/5 for that one. Or you can leave it as a decimal and say 2 6/10. But make sure you can work with your decimals because you have one with decimals. And then we get into 7.2, which is really important that you remember that there are options that it could be all numbers or empty set. So I want you to remember that when you're doing all numbers or empty set, if I have 2x plus 5 equals 2x plus 3 plus 2, like that, remember, these are from the same family. So if you have a side where you can combine like terms, you definitely want to do that. And when you look at this problem, look at it, it's the same on both sides. That's an example of all numbers. Versus 2x plus 5 equals 2x plus 7, say that. So you went and you simplified all the way and you got here. You can see that these two are going to cancel each other. See? And you're left with 5 equals 7, and that's not true. And that's what we call, we can say that it's empty set. Or we could say it's null. Or we can say no solution. So I wanted you to remember those couple of things. I also wanted to make sure that you could work with fractions. So, for example, if I had, let's say I was doing 1/3 times 6n minus 2 equals 3n plus 1, like that. So you have to know you have to distribute like that. So 1/3 times 6 is 6/3 n, plus 1/3 times 2 is 2/3, equals 3n plus 1. This is the same thing as 2, so essentially it's 2n plus 2/3 equals 3n plus, I need to scale this up to have 3 in the denominator, so I scaled it up by 3. Now when I make my movements, I'm going to go ahead and move this over here. I have 2/3 is equal to n plus 3/3. Move the 3/3 over here. And I'm left with negative 1/3 equals n. So I guess this is the biggest part right here, is that you understand that you have to scale up your fraction so that you have denominators that are the same, so you can make the movement when the denominators are the same. So be careful with that. And then you're for sure gonna have the rectangles. So if I were you, I would practice question number, let's see, this is from 7.2. So if you looked at your practice homework page, it's like question number 20, which you didn't have to do. So this is from chapter 7.2. This is number 20, okay? So look at that practice page and look at number 20. It says the perimeter is equal to 80 feet. Then it says find the dimensions if the length is, so the length right here, the length is 2 feet longer than 4 times the width. It's like that. So if that side is 4w plus 2, then this side is 4w plus 2. This side is 1w, and this side is 1w. So notice I labeled all 4 sides. Then I put my families together. I got 1, 4, 1, and 4. Those are all families, because perimeter, remember, is adding all the way around. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10w. Plus 2 and 2 is 4. Perimeter, 80. Then you solve. So you want to make 4 feet, oh, hello. 5 feet longer. What was I thinking? I didn't mean to put 4. Notice it was coming out wrong. 5 feet longer. That's not what I wanted either. Let's just do that over. I'm not going to do the whole video over. Let's say it says the length is 5 feet longer. I don't know why I wrote plus 2. Let's look at that. So 5 feet longer, sheesh, than 4 times the width. There you go. That's what I wanted to write for question number 20. I was looking at a different problem. I was combining 2 different problems. So now I have 8, 9, 10, and then I have 10. That's what was throwing me off. So I have 10 here. Then I add a negative 10 to both sides. Is equal to 70, divide both sides by 10, and your width is equal to 7. That's your width. Go back to your length. and put 7 in place of W. So your length is equal to 4 times 7, which is 28, plus 5, which equals 33, and we are in feet. You can double check it. So you know that this is 7, this is 7, this is 33, and this is 33. Add them all up and make sure they equal 80. And then you know it checked, okay? So just be careful when you're doing the rectangle ones. So good luck studying some more. I would watch out the stepped out answers to help you if you need more practice on those steps.